Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and if you are new, welcome. As promised, I want to share with you guys all of the things that I melted and burned through during the month of June. I went through 4 packs of wax melts, 2 line dried linen. I absolutely love this fragrance by Better Homes and Gardens. It will always be a repurchase for me. It always throws strongly throughout my bedroom or open concept space wherever I place it. So highly recommend if you are a fresh fragrance lover and you never tried this fragrance before. Then I went through 2 packs of Kringle wax melts, sea salt and bergamot, and Aegean zest. Absolutely loved sea salt and bergamot so much that I purchased it in the large 2-wick twice. Aegean zest, I liked it in wax melt form, but it didn't do too much for me to where I felt like I needed to buy it in a large candle. So I did like the fragrance, but I wasn't in love with it enough to purchase it in candle form. So the Aegean zest wax melts will be a one and done. And like I said, sea salt and bergamot, I absolutely love the fragrance so much that I repurchased it in candle form. Don't mind the fireworks in the background, you guys, if you happen to hear them. I went through 3 Yankee candles. Summit Stargazing was a nice fruity floral. I believe this was released last holiday for Yankees winter holiday season. Liked it, didn't love it, so it was a one-time purchase. Strength and throw was a solid 7 to a 7.5 out of 10 in my upstairs area. If I burnt it in my bedroom with the bedroom doors open, it traveled out into my hallway and it filled the bedroom nicely without being too strong and overpowering. Garden Rain Shower and Sun Gold Tomato. I enjoyed the fragrance. However, the fragrances of both of these candles, but I didn't get any decent strength and throw from either of them until I got at least to the halfway point. Garden Rain Shower threw at about a 6 in a closed concept. It was a nice aquatic fragrance that had a touch of cologne, masculine vibe to it. I didn't really get the mossiness, and I think it said something about a soil note that was in there, but I didn't really get that. It wasn't too earthy. And then Sun Gold Tomato was a really nice tomato vine scent. However, by the time I got strength and throw out of it, it was throwing at about a 5 in my open concept. So I just blended it with, I think it's Garden Fresh. Yeah, I was blending it with Garden Fresh from Kringle, which pretty much overpowered it. But when I did walk into the room where I had Sun Gold Tomato lit, I could pick up on the fragrance, but it just wasn't a good performer for me, as well as Garden Rain Shower. So all 3 of these candles were a one-time purchase for me. But the burn quality was good. I didn't have a ton of soot. The wax didn't get discolored. And I didn't have wick issues to where the wicks got puny or the candle was having trouble with pulling out. So good burn quality on these 3 candles. Another Yankee fragrance that I managed to get through, Desert Blooms from the Under the Desert Sun collection, which I think was released last spring. I want to say it was last spring. So out of the fragrances in that entire collection, the only one that I repurchased was Aloe and Agave. Now, the strength and throw on this one was good in my bedroom space. The strength was a 6 with the throw of a 7. But it was one of those desert floral type fragrances that I don't mind burning through and enjoying once, but it's not a love for me. So I did not repurchase this candle. I think I did have it in the wax melts too. The wax didn't discolor, but as I got deeper into burning the candle, it acted as a hurricane, and I did get some soot accrual within the jar. But other than that, I didn't really have issues with this candle. It's just the fragrance. I didn't love it enough to back it up or repurchase it. Next up, we have Woodwick. This candle was gifted to me from a good friend of mine. The fragrance is in Seaside Neroli. It was a beautiful neroli fragrance. However, it didn't give me any strength and throw in my bedroom space. So I really just enjoyed this candle for the ambiance. I did stay on top of trimming the Woodwick so that I wouldn't get soot or a high flame. So no soot accrual in the jar and no wax discoloration. I pretty much was just lighting this for the ambiance. I do love the way the wood wicks crackle. However, this candle will be a one-time purchase for me. Next up, we have Summer Veranda from Goose Creek and Grandma's Lemonade from Kringle. I enjoyed both of these candles. Grandma's Lemonade had a high strength and throw in my open concept. I'll give it an 8. No burn issues, no soot, no wax discoloration. Beautiful performance. Summer Veranda burnt nice and clean for me as well. But it started out around a 5 to 6, so soft medium in my closed concept. However, I noticed when I had it in a hurricane with the AC going, it threw at a solid 7 in my bedroom. I did do a dedicated review of Summer Veranda on my channel if you want to check it out, because this candle may still be available for purchase. if it's a scent that you feel like you may be interested in before it sells out for the summer. But if I wasn't on a strict no buy, low buy, I definitely would have repurchased both of these candles because I loved the fragrance of Summer Veranda and I loved the fragrance of Grandma's Lemonade. And Kringle had a flash sale for like a $9.99 price point on these label jars. And I behaved myself and I didn't pick up any. So I'm doing good so far, but both of these would definitely be repurchases for me. I managed to burn through 4 large 2-wick Kringle candles. Easter Petals I absolutely loved. It was the most beautiful neroli fragrance I've ever smelled. Strength and Throw was a solid 6 in my bedroom space. Loved it so much I repurchased it. And I plan to repurpose this jar as a vase. So I had to clean the wax out of it and peel the label off. I love this jar and this label, but I do have a backup of it. So I'll either hold on to it for next spring, or if I just can't help myself, I'll burn it and just hope and pray that Kringle will bring it back next Easter. And then I already told you guys from the wax melts my love of sea salt and bergamot. This is like a really nice, fresh, clean laundry scent. As I got deeper into the burn, just some slight soot accrual in the jar. The nature of these candles, the way they're designed, as you get deeper into the burn, it can get, you know, some soot because it'll act as a hurricane. But overall, no issues with the burn quality. Strength and Throw was good. Solid 6 in my bedroom space. I will probably pull out my backup and burn it this summer. And if I feel like I need more of it, Kringle is pretty good with keeping their new fragrance releases around for a while. So if this one is still around next year, I would definitely repurchase it. The next 2 Kringles that I burnt through, White Lotus and Yuzu and Sage. Absolutely loved both of these fragrances. White Lotus is a fresh, clean, soapy type of scent. So if you're a fresh fragrance lover, it's an aquatic floral, but it's fresh and clean at the same time. And then Yuzu and Sage is a nice citrus, but I do get the peach note that's in this candle. It's blended so nicely with the Yuzu. Yuzu and Sage threw at a solid 7 in my open concept, and White Lotus threw at a solid 7 in my bedroom. I did repurchase Yuzu and Sage in the large 2-wick, so thank God I have a backup of it. But I didn't get to repurchase White Lotus yet, just because I wanted to give Lemon Splash a try, and I absolutely love that candle as well. That one is a solid 7 in my open concept, and I will repurchase that one too. But I'm definitely going to grab another White Lotus. I absolutely love this one as a fresh, clean bedroom fragrance. No issues with the burn performance, and again, the, you know, very minimal soot accrual, no wax discoloration with the large 2-wick Kringle jars. Next up, we have 2 Goose Creek fragrances that I absolutely enjoyed. Lavender de France. I purchased Lavender de France a total of, I want to say 5 times when I first got into Goose Creek. So this is my last Lavender de France. I am a lavender lover. Strength and Throw was between a 6 to 7 in my closed concept. No issues with the burn. It burnt nice and clean. And then Rainy Day Blues was more of a soft medium. Strength and Throw in my bedroom. So I'll say a 5 to 6. Nice rainy day fragrance. I will say Stormy Day Snuggle won my heart over Rainy Day Blues, but if you're not into super like earthy, I did do dedicated reviews on Rainy Day Blues and Stormy Day Snuggle. So I would just say Rainy Day Blues is the more safer, you know, earthy, outdoorsy type of fragrance in comparison to Stormy Day Snuggle. But Stormy Day Snuggle must have been very popular because it was the first one to sell out of the Rainy Day collection or Stormy Day collection. So Stormfront is another one that I purchase every year. It's unique. I absolutely love that fragrance. But if you want to hear more in-depth thoughts on Rainy Day Blues and, well, Stormy Day Snuggle is sold out, but Rainy Day Blues, you could definitely go to my Goose Creek playlist and it'll be right there for you guys if you're interested. I know some of y'all are probably wondering why I'm not showing the wax pulls. I did just go ahead and clean out my jars. I took notes on my lids, so that's why I took the lids off of these 2. But I went ahead and cleaned out my jars because trash and recycling day is tomorrow, and I just want to go ahead and be able to toss the jars in my recycling bin after filming this video. But for first date, I loved it on cold. I don't mind powdery, perfumey fragrances, but when they kind of smell a little mature leaning, They usually are one and done for me. For example, Luminous, that one was a one and done for me. So with First Date, it threw at a solid 7 in my clothes concept. It had a nice, clean, flawless burn, no issues. And then for Bubbly Rosé, Strength and Throw was a medium to high in my open concept. However, from the first burn, I had puny wicks. So I had to put it on the warmer because I was burning it in my Hurricane, and even though it was burning low and slow, I guess I left it in my Hurricane too long, and the wicks drifted so far apart. They were too close to the glass for me to light it. So I did have to put it on my warmer, but when I did burn the candle, it had a nice clean burn. Neither of these would be repurchases for me. I enjoyed them for what they were, but I wasn't in love with them enough for me to need to repurchase them. I literally just did a dedicated review of Sweet Saltwater Taffy from Goose Creek. This had a low medium strength and throw, so I'll place it at a 5 out of 10 in my open concept. It burnt nice and clean with no issues, but it didn't really give me the saltwater taffy fragrance that I was looking for, and the strength and throw was minimal. So one and done. Winterberry Cobbler was also a one and done for me because by the time I burnt it and reviewed it, it had sold out. And this fragrance is one of those like berry gourmand scents that we typically get. So I didn't feel like I had to stock up on this one. Strength and Throw was high in my open concept at 8 to 8.5, but it did start getting sooty. So I just went ahead and tossed it on the warmer. So I got to actually put this in my freezer and get the rest of that wax out. But I absolutely love the packaging of this collection that came out for 2024 winter holiday season with Goose Creek. The fragrance was nice. It's just once it started to get sooty at the midway point, I was like, before the fragrance gets messed up, I'd rather just put it on my warmer, which it threw strong for about, I want to say a week straight before it finally started to lose its fragrance, and then I just took it off. But both of these, one and done. I burned a lot of Goose Creek. I typically do burn through a lot of Goose Creek, but Watermelon Lemonade, solid 7 in my open concept. I purchased this last year and pulled it out to burn this year. I tend to like Goose Creek's Watermelon Lemonade more than Bath and Body Works. Goose Creek smells more authentic to me, and I like the strength and throw on it and the fragrance. So kept this in my open concept where it performed at a strong medium. Absolutely loved Mountainside. Now, I already burned through one of these, and I love the way the jar looked lit up. So the first Mountainside I burnt through along with Oceanside, I cleaned the jars out and I put tea lights in them so that the jar can illuminate and it looks so pretty. This one is the one that Tracy from 3 Wick Thesis decluttered to me because she wasn't a fan of the fragrance too much. So Tracy, I did burn through the Mountainside you gifted me. Thank you so much. I have one more Mountainside stashed away to burn for this upcoming fall season. The strength and throw in my open concept was between a strong medium to high, so I'll give it a 7 to 8 out of 10. Enjoy both of these fragrances. Obviously, I would definitely repurchase Watermelon Lemonade from Goose Creek next year because I do have other watermelon scents to burn through this year, so I don't need a backup right away. And this is one of their like signature scents that's always around. Mountainside, I feel like I should purchase another one for next year, but Goose Creek has been doing really good with their like atmospheric and like earthy outdoorsy scents that fingers crossed they'll come up with something just as good as this next year. But I can't wait to burn my last backup for the fall season. Absolutely enjoyed both of these two candles. If Mountainside returns next year, I would definitely repurchase it. Oh, I did have more Kringles in my pile, guys. Sorry. Baby powder, absolutely loved it. Strength and throw was between a 6 to a 7 in my bedroom space. Did a dedicated review of it. Wanted to repurchase it when it was $9.99, but told myself to behave because I do have Goose Creek's baby powder candle. So no performance issues on either of these 3 candles. Beautiful Day was a soft medium 6 in my bedroom. Beautiful fruity floral fragrance. And Butter Rum Cafe was in the high range in my open concept, so I'll give it a solid 8. Absolutely enjoyed all 3 of these candles. I'm considering picking up another Butter Rum Cafe for the fall, possibly. But I do have some of the coffee candles from Goose Creek that I want to burn, that I saved for fall. And then I also have one more Paris Cafe left in my stash. I'm not big. I enjoy coffee fragrances, but I don't have to have them. So I don't want to overwhelm myself with anymore, but Butter Rum Cafe was pretty good. So I may, if the 3-wick is sold out, I may go ahead and just purchase it in the large 2-wick jar so I can enjoy it one more time before it goes away. Beautiful day. Yeah, I would repurchase that one. It was a nice fruity floral. And even baby powder, I feel like once this one sells out, it's going to be gone. But I do think Kringle did a great job on that fragrance. And I feel it's repurchase worthy. Last but not least, we have Brightest Bloom. I absolutely love this fragrance. Being a floral lover, this was a really nice fragrance blend. I purchased it in the lotion and the mist. My mist will be gone soon, so I'll be sad. And this was my last Brightest Bloom. I purchased it a total of 2 times. The first time to burn it and review it for the channel. And then this is the backup that I held on to for this year because I just knew Bath & Body Works wasn't going to bring it back out. Strength and Throw was a solid 7 in my open concept. Burnt nice and clean. It did burn a little hot and fast. It had the thin core wicks on there, so I did have to watch my burn time and stay on top of trimming my wicks. But it did lead to a nice clean burn on this one. If Bath & Body Works were to bring this one back, say for like a candle day or SAS, how they do with Butterfly, I would definitely repurchase it. Really enjoyed this candle. Rain Drenched Strawberries and Pumpkin S'mores are also 2 more candles that I emptied. And when I went to try to get the wax out the jar, I ended up cracking both of the jars. So I had to toss the jars. But I think that would have made a total of 24 candles, 22, 24 empties. Had I still had those 2 up here. I mean, I did empty them, but I couldn't include them in the video because I cracked the glass. So these candles, sometimes it's hard to get the wax out once I pop it in the freezer. Some of them were easier than others, but I prefer to do it this way just because I knew I would be filming this video at the last minute. And literally, I have to put these in the recycle bin and get them out tomorrow morning for pickup. So if you happen to like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, bye.